What is going on, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Trading to Glory. Today, we are going to talk about Bundesliga Team of the Season, our last-minute investments for the Bundesliga Tots Sbc coming on Sunday, and being pretty much investing in a lot of cards. So, our first investment of the day, guys, we're going to hop right into it on this episode. A very good episode for you guys today. We're going to go ahead and pick up every single one of these Christensens. I just think this is too cheap. While everybody is focused on Bundesliga investments, it's always good to look at some of the other leagues and some of the cards that have risen in the past. Now, here's my idea. Christensen's 82 rated, and he rose to about 3,000 coins last time he was required for those SBCs. You know what I'm saying? So that's tripling our coins on every single one of these cards. So that is a lot of profit. And given the fact that he's 1,100 coins, he really can't go down much more, if anything. I don't think he really will. As a Chelsea player, that Danish link with Kjaer, I guess, you could make that work as well. But given the fact he's an 82 from the Prem and at Chelsea there, with all these SBCs that have been being released, I just don't see this not working out. And making us at least a few hundred coins per card at the worst. So I feel like Christensen is a good investment. And this isn't the only card you can do this with, guys. You can pick up a ton of different 82s from these random leagues. Just use Footbin, and it'll tell you guys exactly which cards are the cheapest in terms of rating. I looked at that. I saw Christensen on the list of some of the cheapest 82s. And based off of the previous weeks, I know this Christensen card rises. Now, here's the thing. Do we know what the rating's going to be for the Bundesliga Team of the Season? We don't know the rating for the Bundesliga Tots. It could be 84 like we saw with La Liga, or they could drop it down to 83 again that we saw with Premier League. So it's really up for grabs. And given the fact that Bundesliga Tots has much lower rateds in comparison to the La Liga, where the cheapest and lowest rated card was Hernandez and Adon and Busquets. I mean, when Busquets is your cheapest tots, it's a pretty good team of the season. I think that might be one of the reasons why they went with an 84 rated for that. But they definitely want everyone to be doing these SBCs. They want there to be a reasonable price for these SBCs, and if people don't see that the Bundesliga Tots SBC is reasonable, they're not going to do it. And EA don't want that. EA really don't want that. They've been really good with this promotion so far. I think that they're probably going to push it back down to 83, just like they had for the EPL. That's my opinion. I don't work for EA. I don't know what they're going to do. They could do anything that they want in terms of these SBCs, but that's what I think is most likely. And if they do that, then these 82 rated cards are going to rise just like they did for the Community Tots and for the EPL Team of the Season. They're going to rise just like they did. If not, they're still going to rise, just not as much. But if you take a look at Christensen's Footbin, let's see if I can pull this up for you guys. I believe I can, actually. Go ahead and take a look here. Christensen's Footbin. He's 1,100 coins right now. We just picked up a bunch of those cards. But if you take a look at his fluctuation, I mean, that was the first SBC that came out. And on that day, he was an average of 2.6K, which is pretty good. So he probably peaked at like 3K. And then on the Tuesday, May 8th, he was 3,100. That was only about a week and a half ago. He was 3,500 on average the Thursday of May 10th. And as you guys can see, he drops, and we're in this like little drop. We're in this bottom part. But he's 1,100 this time. I could see him getting back up to 2.6K pretty easily. I believe he'll hit that again. So that's what I'm picking him up for. And given the fact that, you know, he hasn't been anything less than 2.1K throughout the last, honestly, week. The last time he was this cheap was May 5th. That was Saturday. That was 12 days ago. 13 days ago. That was 13 days ago he was this cheap. And in between that, he got up to like 3.6K, probably over 4K at good times of the days and in the hype. We saw how even though like maybe on this Tuesday he might have been 3.1K on average as his cheapest price, during that hype into the SBC, right when that SBC drops, he could have been 7,000 coins. It's very, very possible. We can't go back that far on the hourly graph, unfortunately. So that's why I really like Christensen. So I'm going to go ahead and list off a couple more players that we could use. We've got like Ibora. Franco Vasquez is another great one. Guys, if you don't remember, Franco Vasquez was a card that pretty consistently got up all the way to I think it was about 5,000 coins every time that SBC dropped. He's back down to 1,200 coins again. So if they release an SBC that requires 82s, or well, requires an 83 rating overall, meaning that it requires 82s a lot more, Franco Vasquez is going to get back up to that like 2.53k mark most likely, just like what I said with Christensen. So that's going to go ahead and be our next investment. I think I'm going to go ahead and pick up a bunch of Vasquez cards. We've got 50 more spots on our transfer list along with almost 300,000 coins. So I think every single Vasquez for 1,200 should be a good deal. I'm not too worried about getting every card for less than a K here just because it's not much of a risk as an 82 rated during Team of the Season. And all these SBCs coming out, once again, it's really not that much of a risk at all. The worst case scenario is I lose 500 coins per card, but that's just never going to happen. Worst case scenario, the Sevilla SBC is what we're relying on keeping this card up in price. So the Vasquez card, we'll go and pick up a few of those. And that's just a couple of examples, guys. We're probably going to pick up quite a few more over the course of the night. And I suggest you guys go ahead and do that over the course of Saturday and Saturday night as well, because these cards should still be reasonably cheap. Another card is Steven Savage. I'm literally just looking at Flippin right now and kind of seeing the cheapest 82s, and I'm not saying every single one. I'm just mentioning the ones that I've noticed have risen in the past for these SBCs. So I like those. Ibora is one more, but yeah, you guys get the point. I thought I'd give you guys a couple examples. Ibora is also pretty cheap, being Premier League. He gets the strong link there with Adrian Silva, I guess. Leicester, also Spanish, getting links with a lot of Spanish players that are around 83 rated. I think Ibora is a good one as well. I've continued to buy a lot of these 82s that I was talking about earlier. We're bidding on some right now. I'm going to show you guys my transfer list in a second. We got a couple more Felipes. I might as well just leave them here. Felipes I like because he's a center back, and we know he links with Casillas, which a lot of people like to use. Casillas gets a 83 rating for very cheap. And so Felipe, given the fact that all formations have at least 2 center backs, it's a pretty safe bet as an investment at 1,100 coins. So I picked him up, and then I'm also picking up some more Vasquez cards for about 1,100 as well. Just getting as many as I can because there's such low risk, so I'm pretty much guaranteeing myself profit. Going to show you guys what I've got right now. I love the Christensen investment. Ibora, got a lot of him. I picked up a couple Felipes already. Got the Vasquez. A lot of these guys I bought in the clip earlier, but those are some guys that I picked up. And the reason I really stayed away, I honestly did. I stayed away from fullbacks for the most part. Not that I don't think they're great investments. It's just that they're more risky. So I do have a Klein here for 2K. It's not a big risk, like 2,000 coins for Klein. But here's the thing. If they don't require a fullback, a right back, a left back in the formation, if they go with 3 at the back, then, if you guys went all in for, like, fullback investments, then you're screwed. You're not going to be making any profit. Those cards are going to get panic sold, and they're going to drop in price. Granted, if you held another week, they'd probably go back up, but, I'm just not really feeling safe with investing in fullbacks. That's why when I bought this Pizak here, I bought him for less than 5K, just got him on a snipe. I listed him right up. I don't want to hold him as an investment, to be honest. I feel as if it's a little bit too risky. So that's one of the biggest things that I wanted to tell you guys is if you guys have fullbacks, they're not bad investments. Like Danny Rose, if there are fullbacks required, this Danny Rose card's going to go from 2,400. He's going to probably double in price and get up to like 4,800. It'll be pretty easy coins if they're required, but if they're not required, nobody's going to be using Danny Rose. Nobody will use him. And then that means that there's going to be 3 at the back, which is 3 center backs, meaning center backs are going to be even more expensive. So the reason I think that they might go 3 at the back, that's something that I want to talk about. Right now, if you guys take a look at fullbacks in the Bundesliga, you've got a couple at right back. That's not too much of an issue. You've got Lucas Pizak. We saw him. He's going for like 5,000-6,000 coins. And you've also got Joshua Kimmich. And Joshua Kimmich's going for a little bit more, but, you've got his 81 rated card, and then you've also got his 84 rated card, which is more expensive. So there's a couple choices at right back, but at left back, there really isn't. So if they require, let's say they required an 84 rating, you can't really go with any of these left backs, because the highest rated left back in the league, other than Alaba, which I'll assume we're not using for this SBC, most people don't want to be using Alaba. It's actually Schmelzer. Schmelzer's the highest rated left back in the league, and he's only an 80 rated card. Right now, he's going for about 2,000 coins if you wanted to invest in him, but that card will 100% drop all the way down to 1,000 coins. He will cut in half in terms of price if there's no fullback required, because nobody's going to play a Schmelzer out of position at 80 rating. Nobody's going to do that. So if there's an 83 rating requirement, I could see them maybe going with 4 at the back still, given the fact that you don't have to go with the German players at left back. You know, you don't have to go with Bundesliga at left back. You can still go with other leagues. You can go with Danny Rose. You can go with all of them, obviously. But since it is Bundesliga and they haven't done a 3 at the back yet, I feel like this could be a curveball that you got to at least keep in mind, because if you've got a lot of investments that are involved with left backs and right backs, you're running a risk there. In terms of center backs and center attacking mids, there's no formations that don't have these positions. Even if it's like a 4-3-3 flat, you know, where there's not a direct CDM, there's not a direct cam, yet they're still going to get 9 chemistry in those positions. A 4-4-1-1, where you can play a cam in that center forward position. You know, those are all good shouts, and why, you know, every single formation is going to have something for CDMs, for center backs, for center attacking mids, and even strikers and goalkeepers. Now, strikers and goalkeepers I don't like as much. Goalkeepers are always super cheap in FIFA. There's so many of them, around 82 to 84 rated. And then the reason that strikers are normally not too expensive in comparison to a lot of the other cards is because most teams have more than one striker, yet a lot of these formations that they require in FIFA only require one striker, so there's just so many to choose from there as well. And that's why strikers don't rise as much, and that's why goalkeepers don't rise as much. If you guys were ever wondering why they don't rise as much during SBCs as like fullbacks, center backs, center mids, you know, center backs and center mids are always really safe investments. So that's what I want to focus on today. The final curveball that I want to go ahead and cover is if they use a 5 at the back. If they use a 5 at the back, that means that they're not going to have wingers, most likely. There is a 5 at the back formation that does have wingers, but it's only one of them. Most of the 5 at the back formations have a lot of central players. So it'll be 3 center backs, a left winger back, a right winger back, like 2 center mids, a cam, and 2 strikers. Most of the 5 at the back formations look something along those lines. So they could do a 5 at the back formation that does require wingers, but you also have to kind of think about the fact that Caligiuri is a wing back. They threw a team in the season as a right winger back, so it kind of leads you to believe maybe they will use a 5 at the back. They have right winger back already in mind for a lot of the players in Bundesliga, and to be fair, there are a lot of wing backs in Bundesliga, so they could go with something like that as well. It's something to keep in mind just in case. Now, is it likely? Of course not. It's not likely, but it can still happen. So I just wanted to, you know, warn you guys about that as well, just in case you're investing in wingers, because it's the same exact thing as I was talking about with the fullbacks. They might not be used. That's going to be it for today's episode. If you did enjoy, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. All of the investments that we made in today's video and in today's stream are right here. Scrolling across them right now. If you guys want to check me out, didn't just mention the stream, go ahead and follow me on Twitch. I stream every single day, live on Twitch. I stream FIFA for the, 95% of it, maybe Fortnite a little bit as well. So go ahead and follow me down below. The link is in the description. I'll probably pin a comment as well that has my Twitch account. And go ahead and follow it and watch every single night. I'm live around, it's about 11 p.m. UK, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single day. Just around that time, a rough estimate. So go ahead and check me out there. All my social medias are down in the description. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.